Previously on Startup Diaries.
We found ourselves in Patagonia, exchanging website development for a few nights at a hostel, taking a trip up to a volcano, getting stranded on the volcano, helping others who were also stranded. A conversation with Alejandro, who got a co-working space set up with the government help at the age of 20, had us inspired. What would Santiago have for us next? As one of the fastest growing tech scenes in the world, we were excited to find out.
It's Startup Diaries. We're Fab and Dom. We escaped our office, packed up our business, and hopped into a Land Rover with our friend Vin. Our mission: travel through South America and meet people who use technology to redefine work.
When most people think of South America, the list of iconic cities probably starts with Rio or Buenos Aires. Then there's Lima, and Cusco, Quito, and Bogota, and even Cartagena. How long before Santiago shows up on the bucket list? For many it doesn't, but that is changing quickly. It's modern, it's cool, it's artistic. And there's the reason we're here. Startup Chile, as they affectionately call it here, Sub Chile, has seeded over 1,000 startups from around the world since 2010. The Chilean government has given millions of dollars to startups equity-free, and we wanted to find out why.
This is Urban Station Chile.
Okay.
You want me to show you around?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We started here in Chile in 2011. We were one of the first co-working in our country, and this is the first place that we have. We have a lot of Chileans that are working here, and then all of the entrepreneurs all over the world from Startup Chile, and it's really like a good mix. You know what I mean? Because they can have a lot of experience from different places and stuff that they are doing in other countries, and give that to the Chilean people. And as well, the Chilean people, they got the experience of living here for a long time, right. And different experience with business and more maybe a South American look view or business, you can say.
That's great.
So they complement each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Chile, and there's a myth about the creation of Chile, that when God was finished with the creation of the world on the seventh day, he had some leftovers. He had the driest desert of the world, some volcanoes, and some evergreen rainforest, and he didn't really know what to do with it, so he decided, there's this big mountain chain called the Andes, why don't I throw everything there? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how Chile was created. Now what God didn't think about was to put a startup ecosystem into Chile. For this, we have the Earthlings, like Sebastian Vidal, Executive Director of Startup Chile.
Yes. Startup Chile is a government-funded program that is trying to solve that specific need that we had 5 years ago. 5 years ago, the entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem was inexistent in Chile, and the Chilean mentality was more like thinking locally than globally. You know, because there's an hypothesis of these geographical barriers. We have a chain of mountains, the sea, the Antarctic, and the desert. So it's this kind of a prison. You know? So, and we thought that it was harming, you know, the Chilean entrepreneur mentality to something more local than globally.
Right.
So what we said was, why don't we solve this by attracting entrepreneurs from all over the world? Yeah, so we give them 3 specific and really clear and direct benefits. The first one is 20 million pesos, which is like 35K. The second one is 1 year working visa, which is the first entrepreneur's visa in the world.
So this visa was especially created for?
It was especially created for entrepreneurs.
Great.
And the third one is a soft landing. And soft landing is like when entrepreneurs decide to come to Chile, he needs to forget about how to settle in Chile. Right. So you come here, and in 2 weeks you're good to go. You know.
What's one of your favorite projects?
Baby B is a startup that created a device that replicates the first 2 weeks of the premature born child that is confined to an incubator. Okay, the first 2 weeks when the mother and the child are separate are the key, you know, and are separate. So this guy created a device that replicates the heartbeats and the breath of the mother, and create a bed that is in the incubator. Wow. That actually, you know, replicates all the movements, the breath, you know, the heartbeats and everything, and that make the quality of life of that child much better.
Wow.
You know, you cannot doubt that the world has changed, and the labor today, at least in Latin America and in Chile, is thinking differently and how things work, and they have much more social conscious, and they have much more family sense of living, trying to live the life and not spend 30 years working your ass off, as you're saying, and then realize that you need to start living,
Right.
And I think that's much more in the head of all the youngers, today, and I think one thing that we don't want to do, and I think is not fair, is like crucifying the big corporations all the time. I think big corporations need to make that change to be able to attract this kind of entrepreneurs. You can adapt. This is not the amount of time that you work; it's the quality of the time that you work.
Right. If you imagine the whole Latin America is listening to you,
Yeah.
and there's people who want to be entrepreneurs, they have a deep passion for a topic, but they're afraid of leaving their job, they're afraid of getting into the unknown, they don't know how to make the first steps. What advice would you give them?
Hello, Latin America. The advice I will give is Startup Chile. That's my only advice. No, just make the jump. I'm a public employee, and I love what I do. But I think you just need to go out and do it. And if you're not happy, and if you're stressed, and if you deep down inside you know that you're not doing this because you love it, just change today and come to Startup Chile. Yesterday.
Sebastian Vidal, thanks a lot, muchas gracias. And the program is working really well. The Startup Chile community now boasts over 1,000 startups, 2,000 entrepreneurs, and a wide network of global mentors and investors. The latest pool of applicants is over 1,800 from 51 different countries.
I was in the corporate world, and I was working in marketing. I had my great job in marketing, and I got fired, and because of the crisis, and then all of a sudden it's like they just take off the surface you were standing, and all of a sudden you're just on thin air. It was pretty scary, and I became an entrepreneur. When I applied to Startup Chile, the last time when I got here, when I got accepted, that was my 5th time. And as I told you, I'm a ski instructor. And that day, the application process ends up in June the 24th. And by June the 23rd, I was teaching ski, and I broke my tibia and fibula. And the deadline was the day after, the following day. I was coming down to that hospital to have surgery, and I was screaming, I said, dude, whatever you do, bring my laptop with me. Get the fucking laptop. And after I went to surgery, like everybody was calling me to, okay, I want to give you a visit. No, nobody comes today because I need to fulfill this application. We're just gonna do it for tomorrow. And I end up the application in the hospital. And according to my little brother, it might be the effect of the drugs. Yeah, that's what my brother says. Like, because of the drugs, then definitely got accepted. The morphine should have done his effect. But the thing is that I did it. And that proves my point that you need to keep going whatsoever.
Good job.
Yeah. We are about to launch with main power distributor here in Chile to start collecting the electricity light with that as well. So you will be able to pay your bills.
That's amazing.
And also we set a deal with the BBVA bank, so you can start to transfer your money on DMs.
Oh yeah, that's really cool, because when we are traveling through whole South America, that means in every country we have different chips. We have Entel, Movistar, Claro, Vivo, whatever. And then sometimes I'm trying to figure out how can I top up my credit and I have to go to the individual websites. Now if everybody would use this, I just know direct message to Movistar, they send me something back. And it's super easy.
Exactly, it's super easy. And actually, the rate of engagement we have it's staggering. Like more than about 90% of our customers keeps topping up with us because it's extremely easy to do it. So it's very cool.
I was living in Germany. I had a stable job. I earned enough. I could travel for holidays for 2 or 3 weeks in a year. But I wasn't quite happy with that. Like, I was really sick of an office job that required me to come at 8 a.m. to work and leave. Everyone was leaving exactly at 5 o'clock. Right. So this strict German office hours, which it was so strange for me that it really people could live like this for a longer time.
Right.
And after a year, I just said, thank you very much, but I need something else. And I moved to Cinque. At the company I work for, we also use a robot. So basically I can go to log into the robot, which is in Berlin, in Germany. We have another office there. So it sounds very strange. It's not like a robot with hands and eyes and talking. It's just like a stick and on top of on wheels, stick on wheels, and on top of it there's a tablet. So they can see my face and interact with me normally, and I just can walk, roll around the office.
No way.
Really.
How do you steer the robot?
With my keyboard.
What? This is so cool. Is this like a company who provides these things, or?
I think it's another startup that came up with the idea.
This is so cool.
I don't know if they are a startup.
And it has someone to pick up the phone, or is the robot picking up the phone?
The robot is in the office, and they just turn it on, so to say, and I can freely log in, and then just start moving around.
And it's only you steering around the robot, or does it change?
When I'm in the robot, I occupy it, so I'm in charge. But we have another colleague. She's in Manchester right now. Right. So we try to change. She has another time zone. I have another time zone. So when there was a 6-hour difference, I would do the afternoons and she would do the mornings. And this way we could, being away, we could both interact with people in the office in Berlin.
Wow.
So it was kind of.
This is so cool. Good.
Nice.
How's your 150th beer in Chile?
You're being modest. Thank you.
After a quick bite and a beer in the colorful Bella Vista neighborhood, we discovered that Startup Chile is not just about internet startups. We had a skateboard lesson, not just on any skateboard.
By putting your foot further back on the tail, so. $10 each, shit.
Whoa!
Further forward, front foot further forward. Yeah? Yeah. He looks like a drunk ballerina or something, man. I don't know. So the idea we started with was, why don't we create a system where we can turn this negative issue into instead of a waste, a resource. And we do that by transforming a harmful form of ocean plastic, something that makes up over 10% of the ocean's plastic pollution, into a really positive product, which is a skateboard. Then by making it into this positive product, we can educate future generations that, how amazing is it that kid can look at a skateboard and know that was once waste material. So they're not going to see it as waste anymore, hopefully, and find bigger solutions. No, the first model.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so this is the minnow.
Yeah, nice. It actually looks like a fish.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's the whole idea. So we have the fish eye here, you can see, but
oh wow.
But actually, that's something that we just felt firsthand. Like whenever we go to the beach, like to go surf or something, you'd always worry about your board when you're in the water. So that is actually a lock hole.
Oh, nice.
So you can lock your board up when you're in the water.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet, man, and it's cruising nice.
Very smooth. Like the whole idea is it's a really, really smooth ride. It's got lots of flex. The wheels are really nice and soft and big. So you're gonna bomb a hill, no problem with this.
Startup Chile program is full of dreamers and entrepreneurs, people who've come from all over the world to see how far they can take their ideas. They are young and gutsy and taking a shot at the stars. The program has an objective of eventually funding a $1 billion company. One day, a risk taker with a dream and desire to change the world will come to Santiago and do just that.
So basically they just have, how do they have the CSV modeled? Like what, do we give them a template?
Yes.
So how does that template look like?
Who's driving?
I don't know, so I'm filming.